Hey team, massive welcome for episode number 10 of the D.M.C podcast, Deep and Meaningful Chats, with yours truly, Adam Rigby, and the undeniable, inevitable force, man, mountain, some would say, part beast, beautiful entity that is Cody Hunter Chauncey. Greetings. How are you, my bro?
Mate, I'm excited, mate. Episode 10, the best introduction I've ever had in my life. It reminds me of those days where I wanted to be a WWF wrestler and we used to pretend to announce those walk into the rings, mate. So I'm feeling fired up. I'm ready to rumble.
I felt like I was trying to pump hot air into one of those hot air balloons, mate. You know, you keep pumping and the balloon never inflates, because I could just keep saying great things about you all day, mate, and it wouldn't even make a dent. You'd be the same epic, awesome, humble person that we know and love with great hair.
Mate, I know. Look at that. I'm actually going Fresh Fade Friday tomorrow, mate. I'm not even, I feel a little bit out of sorts today, so I've got to get freshened up.
Always looking fresh, my man. And mate, lots of comments on your classic beauty.
I don't know, mate.
The fact that you are handsome. Never get sick of hearing how handsome you are, mate. Thank you to one of our listeners, Lisa, who reminded me that I was handsome also. So thank you for that.
Oh, there you go,
but just in a different way. You're more that action figure sculpted out of granite. I'm the classic 1920s, 30s.
Cut it out, mate. Cut it out.
Classic you had.
Well, mate, funny enough, the old yesterday when I was putting together some ideas for the Daily D.M.C, I was like, we need to shake up that Instagram wall a little bit. I was like, it's just your mug, my mug, your mug, my mug on the old Insta page, and I was like, this is awesome. I thought, let's get little old Layla in there today because she loves a good video. Thought we'd shake it up a little bit, and she was the most excited I've seen her in so long. She loved it. It was so fun.
That was a beautiful moment, mate. I just loved, the inclusive nature of that, and what better than to bring the ones you love most into this little journey. And she was amazing. Such a beam of light. Yeah, beautiful, mate. Cracked it.
Cracked it, mate. Yeah, it was awesome, mate. But how have you been, mate? How's everything going? Everything's good?
Mate, I've been really good. It's been frantic. Like, it's just a busy time. Everybody I talk to also is busy doing lots of different stuff, which is cool. It's good to be busy, but it's important that we don't get overrun. So yeah, just trying to make sense of it all, be as many places as I can and be present in those places without worrying about everything that's going on, because it can explode. But also in celebration mode at the prospect of us dropping episode 10, because it is a milestone. There's a couple of milestones that we have smashed this week, which we're grateful for. Obviously, getting over 50 subscribers, so we're at 55, only 5 away from shirtless Cody Hunter. So, yeah, massive gratitude to massive gratitude to those who have subscribed and continue to listen. We really appreciate it. Hundy on Instagram, and it's early days for us, 100 followers on Instagram, which is great. But a reminder, that's not what it's all about. This is what it's all about. This is the true success of us fronting and showing up, and the fact that you guys are listening. We're having this conversation with you guys out there is the win for us,
Oh, big time, bro. And 10 episodes in, like I know for those of you that have sort of joined the journey or sort of see the numbers, it's a big deal for us. And I think hitting 10's been awesome because, again, we had one mission, just show up every week and let's see how this baby rolls. And again, 50 subscribers or 55 on the old YouTube. But we believe and feel that they're like real subscribers. These are people that actually want to see our content, which is really cool. Because, I've created things in the past on my own Instagram account. Who knows who's following who on there? There could be bots. There are all sorts of robot things going on and followers and who knows. So it's really nice to know that our core are like true people that we can, gauge some good engagement from and really deliver to. And that's awesome to have a true audience, to be able to deliver to every week.
Yes, special shout out to Beth _145T45BX. No, Yeah, and we don't use the term fans, we use fams, because it's family. We're a family, and we're building something we believe is pretty special, and you guys are actually on board with that too. So, we're having to hook another carriage on so some more people can climb aboard. Hopefully the inclusive nature of our discussions means that you're bringing people on board as well, to join the journey. I'm talking to more and more people about it. And yeah, reading more, expanding my mind more, getting deeper into activities, relationships, conversations more. So the fact that we have the ability to help people here is also, mate, I mean, the journey for us has been quite impactful too, mate?
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day, weren't we? The whole, it sort of sets a good, I mean, I talk about momentum a lot, but it sort of carries on into so many aspects of your life, like being involved. Like I said, what you say, what you listen to, who people you're around is who you become. And the more of this kind of stuff we do, as well as the daily DMCs and the discussions with people outside, it's just the shift, the shift it can create. So it's just something amazing. And actually the DMC, I was, after our video I shot yesterday with my daughter, Layla, she did say, I said, you know what DMC means, And she's sort of like, what does it mean? So I explained it to her and I said, look, you try to have a daily DMC with someone every day. If you feel like having a good little chat with someone, have a little DMC. It's like a really cool movement, Like it's a really cool way to be like, at the end of the day, do a little audit. Did I have a DMC with anyone today at all? Yes or no? Because it's quite cool to think, hey, you know what? There was a couple in there, or there wasn't. Maybe that intention for tomorrow is I'm going to connect with someone on a deeper level, and I'm going to listen, be present, and I'm going to have a great DMC with someone. I think that's amazing. It'll change the world, mate.
Yeah, and as far as things we need to keep in the universe, and we need to teach our young people, the DMC is part of that. I think there's so many things that we objectify, and again, we give names, or names have been given to them that we use. That's language. That's that four agreements, and the fifth agreement, which we'll get into. So the DMC, the deeper meaningful chat, is something we should be proud of as people, as humans, and it's something that we should strive to do continuously more. And that was the premise for us, having those discussions, promoting conversation, and seeing where they land. And yeah, it's been about self-improvement, empowerment, but a whole lot of other stuff has come out of it as well. Us sharing some cool things. And I think the funny thing, probably, I don't know whether you found this too, but we're walking perceptions, aren't we? So people perceive us in a light depending on our interaction with this, and that is why, be immaculate with your word. So every interaction we have, or you have out there with a person, that's how they will perceive you. And so people perceive us in a certain light. And for me and for you, mate, likely we are in a gym environment, we are coaching people. We're, we've got a microphone on, we're loud, we're confident, we're directive, we're coaching, but that's a small part of who we are, but people only see that. And when you tell people, you start to talk about family, and you start to talk about the other job that we actually do, the shared passion and the layers that we have, I think people are quite surprised at the content they come, they sign up and they go, wow, I just didn't know that. Because why? Because they have a perception. Why? Because they have an assumption that that's all we are, that dimension. And that's a lesson for all of us, for everything. Stuff the perception, lose the assumption, get in, have the DMC, the conversation, and find out for yourself. If you hear something bad about, how many times do, if you get into a situation where someone said, man, I didn't think you'd be like this, or someone said you're an idiot, and actually you're actually quite a good dude, or hey, have you ever taken the time to sit and chat? Have you actually taken the time to sit down and find out a lot of these things? And then what comes into those conversations? Commonality, common ground, struggles that you may have had, things you can talk about, and it breaks down, peels down the layers of the onion, and as they do, what happens? The tears flow.
Yeah, that's right.
Happy tears. Happy tears. So yeah, breaking down the perception, but also what that does is that, for me, for my mind, it actually gives me the confidence to be able to share more of that side of myself. And it becomes a part as I incorporate that into my coaching style, and as I have the confidence to incorporate that and add more dimension to the connections and the contact I have with other people. So if that's a part of you that you feel like you're suppressing or holding back on, don't. I mean, we're throwing it out on the World Wide Web, which we broke in episode 8, but it's fixed. Right. It's repaired. IT were onto it. We just had to switch our computers off, then switch them back on again. We waited 30 seconds. Smack. And then back, hello. And then we're back on. But yeah, mate, so some big learnings, eh? It's been, mate, what a journey, mate. 10 weeks in, dropping daily D.M.Cs. Mine, I've got to follow up your amazing daily D.M.C.
Mate, you know what?
Yesterday.
I actually did look at trying to go live, mate, but this is how often I've gone live on Instagram. I actually didn't even know I couldn't figure out how to do it. So anyway, Layla is one of those people. She's like, can we do this live? Can people talk to us now? Can we see people? And I was like, no, we have to pre-record it. And so I thought, hold on. Okay, let's just go live and see what happens. But anyway, I couldn't work it out. But mate, yeah, have fun with that one. Have fun. I know you're a creative gentleman. I know you're not gonna. You'll have some fun with this one, mate. If it's just not today, it'll be soon, mate. So there's plenty on there.
It's a work in progress. We are a work in progress. We're trying to do things as they come to us during the day. But isn't it funny how through the course of the day, we're receptive to so much more in terms of inspiration. So like we were talking about, it pops into your head and you're like, wow, got to write that shit down. And then the more I get through the day, the struggle for me is, man, I've got so many cool things to share. How do I edit that down, or what's the best part of it? Because it's all so cool. Yeah. When you open yourself up, and that's what I think too, when people start to listen to the podcast, because they have a perception of us and how we talk, and they've got an assumption of what to expect. This is probably, I would like to think, a little bit deeper than that. Cuts a little bit deeper. We talk about some difficult things at times. If you've never heard us talk like that, or you've never tuned in to discussions like this, you're going to think, oh, that's a little uncomfortable. But as we've reiterated before, you've got to get in and listen, because that's where we learn. Live in the uncomfortable space, it becomes comfortable, and then it opens up so many more opportunities and conversations and readings, and you'll gain a thirst and a hunger, a desire for more information like this about self-improvement. The books that you read, the podcasts, like this is episode 10 for us. We've talked about guests, and we're on the path to do that. We've got some pretty special people lined up, and our goals are big and hairy and audacious when it comes to getting people on. But we are after human beings that have been and done and witnessed and felt and have experienced change in their life. So we're going for that, and we're going hard at it. The content for us is going to improve, be impactful. We're going to continue to talk about similar things, reintroduce them in different ways, but also expand as we go, as our learnings accelerate. So all of our knowledge will accelerate. So that's our commitment to keep going. 1, 0, 10.
You beauty.
10. There we go. 10. Couldn't be prouder.
Yeah, me too, mate. Me too. I've really loved it. I've heard comments from people that know us, mutually know us, and they've stated things about what they can see and how it's working, and really enjoying it. Like some of the comments are super interesting. Where they didn't really know what to expect. They jump on. They're sort of like, wow, okay, this is freaking okay, awesome, And so we've talked about it before. I think I have with where I get in front of the people. So for what we, our day projects, and sort of, it's not necessarily a whole universe that I revolve around for the last 20 years. So it's quite nice to be able to go into the sort of mutual territory of just us and what we feel like. We're not necessarily here to talk about a specific topic. And it's great. And I think people who maybe know me from that world see myself in a totally different world, because they might not know me as what I was before I'm doing this, these sort of things. So it's just great opportunities to show and to share and get better, and just to grow in different ways.
Yeah, and as I say, we're a byproduct of our own perceptions too, because people perceive us a way, we act a different way, we feel as though in situations we have to act a different way, or be funny, or be humorous, or be proud, or be strong. And that's not necessarily 100% authentic to us. So as we navigate through this journey, more of, I think it's, the the edges are smoothing out, or we're forming more edges. So the dimensions to us that are all in, it's all in here. You know, it's breaking down barriers and walls and feeling comfortable as we all do. But like I say, mate, we're on the internet talking about this stuff live, throwing it out to the universe. My hope is that if it's something, anybody that's listening, and if it's something that you feel strongly about and wanted to do and want to talk about stuff and have something to say, just get out and do it. 100% do it. We support you. There will never be enough humans talking about stuff like this, about being more powerful, about being kind, the importance of being a human being, the importance of just letting go all of the bullshit that is thrown at us at light speed. So if you want to reach out to us, I talked to a guy the other day and he said, I've been thinking about doing that. I said, don't think, just do it. Oh, how do you do it? You do it like this. Talk to me, I will help you. You know, the apps, it makes it easy to do this. All you've got to do is sit down like we did, push record, and yeah, man, you can get a million reasons not to, a million objections, but the one reason, the true reason that resonates with you, the true passion, will overpower like a tsunami all of that bullshit, all of that BS.
Yeah.
And 10 episodes later.
I was just going to say, you don't need everything to be perfect. It will never be perfect. You don't need the perfect equipment or the gear or the studio or the lighting or the background images, you know, all these things. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's just like the rawness is great. Just being able to chat, you know, like I went out and bought a microphone that I wanted to use and it ended up being not that good, actually. Maybe it's because I don't know how to use it, but it's been good on GarageBand singing some songs yesterday. But you don't need all that stuff. Hey, just number one, send it, do it. Take action.
Cody's album soon to be released. Cody Hunter live.
I have a secret passion of wanting to be a voice actor, and I've done a little bit over the years, but I was toying around with it last night, telling stories to my daughter, again in the garage here, reading the Three Little Pigs, and doing it with a mic on the app and being able to adjust the voice to it and everything. Another little secret skill I want to work on. Man, it was fun. It was really fun. I love it. So I'm going to work on that some more. That's my secret thing I want to work on.
You know, so actually that leads into something funny, mate. So we have been reading, or I have read, and actually round the block, I'm on the third passage through of the Fifth Agreement. We've talked about this before, peeps. If you haven't read the Four Agreements, do it, get it, read it, let it land, then move into the Fifth Agreement. An unbelievable work of art in terms of words. It's beautifully poetic, super important. I think no matter what stage of life you're at, there will be stuff in there for you. The guy that narrates the audio book, the voice is just amazing. So go on audio, go whatever channel you want, right? I mean, Audible, that's something that we use.
I'll post the link up, We'll post the audio link.
Yeah, we'll post a link up. And that's something we'll do more of too, and hearing more about other podcasts that maybe you should tune into as well. Again, we're a family. We want to promote as many people doing this type of stuff as we can. But so the narrator of this is this gravelly South American slow tempo voice that you could listen to, soothing. But what I didn't realize is I switched it on in the car, and some reason Audible, you can change the tempo of the speech. And I was listening and I'm going, whoa, hang on, what's going on? And I looked in Audible, this is going too fast. And it was set to 1.6 times faster than normal. And it's amazing how the tempo of the conversation can impact the information dramatically. So I think, team, if you have something very important and spiritual to say, my advice is to slow down and deliver it at a tempo and speed that it will be received easier.
Oh shit.
So try it. But so Fifth Agreement,
mate, how far am I? I must be about halfway, mate. But I love it. I love everything about that both the books. Love everything about it.
Yes.
Such good reminders. For me, I just feel like it's creating this like you do become kind of bulletproof in your world. You start, there's a certain way you carry yourself, because you sort of, it's just different. You feel different when you start adhering to those agreements and understanding them really well, eh? Like, do you find that?
Yeah, I mean, and again, go back to that perception. You are not the perception of you. You are you. You are 100% authentic. You're different to the way people see you. That analogy where you walk into a cinema and you see yourself watching yourself, but then you go into another cinema and you see someone else that you know watching you. The perception is different. The perception of themselves is different. The perception of you, you're going, that's not, no way is that me. But that's the way they perceive you. You put it out there, be impeccable with your word, because that's how people will perceive. And today's society, judge you. Is it you? No, it's the perception.
Yeah.
What really, we talk about resonate, I do say it a lot, but the fact that we are artists, you know, we have the ability to create our own heaven or hell on earth. And I've heard it used in motivation. There was an amazing instructor, Les Mills instructor, years ago, called Ruthie T, who was a beautiful spirit and soul, a fitness leader, one of the OGs. And she was talking about, you know, life as a masterpiece, and we're the artist, and the impact of the colors we put on our canvas, that type of thing. That's out of the agreements, dude. The Toltec artist.
Yeah.
Artists.
Right.
We're all artists. And art is subjective, of course. You know, we look at a masterpiece. Some people will see the background and go, holy shit, that's a lot. Other people will see art. You know, how many times do you see Picasso and go, what the F is that? Art, subjective. But we're all responsible for creating our own masterpiece. Be positive with the brush strokes, you know, be positive with the colors that you choose. Make sure, you know, they're 100% true for you. It'll take you time. The masterpiece you paint now will be different to the masterpiece you paint in 5 to 10 years. But it's interesting to have a look at those, eh? And how we used to paint as youth, just throw colors down, because that's how we saw the world. We weren't confined to shapes and things. It was all about just putting stuff down.
Yep.
It takes a brave soul to do it.
So good.
So yeah, please, peeps, if you do have time, and here's where I say, make the time. All right, audiobook or book. We've gone through the objections that we all have to doing things differently. It'll only take half an hour a day. Like Cody said, that self-improvement, that's critical. Okay, that stuff, that commitment to yourself. It will make you look at yourself and things, the world around you differently, but in such a positive, uplifting way. It'll impact your life in such a positive, impactful way. It impact you impactfully, but it'll add another layer, conscious and unconscious, that I think is really, really important. I've recommended it to a few people. There's been some feedback I got from a friend of mine who loved it, seriously loved it, going through some stuff, and they said, amazing, making you think about the same things a completely different way, but pulling apart all of the bullshit, all of the stuff, all of the other colors that are thrown on us, right? It's like you're standing there and people are throwing paint on you. That's not your masterpiece, that's someone else's, right? So we've got to just stand out of the way and paint our own masterpiece. But yeah, so listen to the 4 agreements, give it time, reread it if you need to. I am going to buy the book, The Fifth Agreement. I went actually looking for copies and was going to pick you up a copy too, bro, to be honest. And no one had it. So I'm going to go online. I'm going to order some. So stand by, bro. I got you covered. Fifth Agreement.
Hey, it's the one I want to own too. Yeah.
Coming your way. That is, the Fifth Agreement is my commitment to check back in to those critical reminders. The Fifth Agreement does outline the 4 agreements, but still, don't shortcut, read the 4 agreements. Yeah. Get back in, get back in tune with the 4 agreements before you get to the 5th. To the 5th agreement, pillars that we should hold ourselves accountable for, things that we should think about in our lives to make the world a better place, more like heaven than hell, because it is up to us. We are the artist, remember. And a book you must read and you must own. Put it on your bookshelf. And if you don't have a bookshelf, buy a shelf, make this the first book, read it, and you'll recommend it. I guarantee you'll recommend it.
Mate, how cool
Give
is
it
it
time
now?
though, eh?
Yeah. I've had a few people that had to give a bit of time, especially, I mean, if you don't know what to expect either. When I first listened, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't research it. It just popped up in my universe. So many people had been reading it and it just popped up somewhere here and there, too many times to ignore. You know, one of those sort of things where it's like, okay, I've just got to listen to this now. I don't know what's happening with this. But yeah, I was just going to say, it's funny. The more you listen to, the more you read. A really good conversation starter, and I've used it a lot now, is, hey, what are you reading right now? It might be like the third question that you've caught up with someone, because and people might be like, oh, well, nothing. Or, but quite surprisingly, someone will be like, well, you know what? I've just finished this, or I've just finished that. You're like, oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So it's a great way to get new books on your list. It's a great way to be able to recommend some books to others. It's just such a cool little question, eh? Like might be a little bit embarrassing for some who are like, oh, mate, I haven't read anything for ages. But it's a great little eye-opener way. You know, what are you reading right now?
Well, I got a book handed to me by a friend of mine, PJ, and he gave me a book to read. I'm going to read that. That's my next one. Yeah. I just finished Russell Brand's Revelation. Not what I expected. So much deeper and more poetic than I had thought. Very deep individual, gone through a hell of a lot. Discusses his addiction and the road to enlightenment for him, and a lot of it is the same, the similar vein. I think when you get involved in this type of self-improvement, mindfulness, a lot of it's similar in terms of the way of thinking, in terms of the heaven, the hell, the vessel. Talked a little bit about the death side of it that we had a discussion about, mate. That we are just a vessel. Some hilarious outtakes which you would expect from Russell Brand. So at times I question, I'm going, man, is this too smart for me? Is this too deep for me? Am I not deep enough for it? Am I not smart enough to actually absorb it? And I gave it time. The language that was used was different to the language that I exposed myself to. And then he would break back into a more traditional level of language. The thing that I really took out of it, so he talked about his addiction and the journey, the AA and the 12-step program that they have. And it starts with, obviously the first step is admitting you have a problem, right? Accountability. And you can go through all of these steps which he lists, but the last one is about service, about helping another addict. Accountability. So it starts with accountability, and obviously there's levels of accountability, but it finishes. And so it is really all about accountability. And for us, the accountability to show up, episode 1, to continue showing up, and the level of satisfaction, gratification, fulfillment, and enlightenment in the service of others, which is what we're going through now in terms of helping people, has been unbelievable, because you're counting on people. We count on you. That don't underestimate the impact you have in terms of motivating us to continue to do this. And it's the same thing for us, right? We're accountable to each other, bro. At the end of the day, we'll show up for each other. 100% all day, every day. The accountability, be of service. Do find someone or something that you can do that will have impact, that will help, that will definitely help. Whether it's charity work or getting involved or helping a person, just even talking to someone, letting people know that you are there, is being of service, and the opportunity that it will give you to expand your mind and your heart, and spiritually, is, I mean, I haven't put a cap on it. I won't put a cap on it, because it's continuing to grow. It's continuing to grow. So awesome. Amazing.
That's
amazing.
Mate, I was just going to say, that's that whole, we talked about that, didn't we? The whole, you receive everything. You're the spoiled little tyrant child who gets given everything they wanted, or someone who just receives, and obviously, quite often not happy at all. There's no happiness there, because there's no, like we said, that whole the gift of giving, you know, being of service is what that whole partnership, the give and take, the give and take, the give and take, or giving more than anything is that whole, where that whole fulfillment comes from, and it's a cool way to look at it. And I think it was from Lost Connections, they talked about that, like, for example, in a hospital bed where you have a nurse who basically does everything you want in terms of food and service and whatever, but you can still be in hospital because you're not adding anything to that relationship. You're not giving anything. So, you know, it's just a real weird situation where you're no longer, you're not fulfilled. You're not happy. You're depressed in this hospital. You got anything you want at the time you want it, click, beep, beep. But doesn't mean anything, until you can give that, you know, give back.
And on the subject of that, in terms of nursing, special people, special humans. If you've ever been in a situation, if you've had someone who has been in hospital, if you've been in hospital yourself, the care they exhibit under extreme conditions, you know, are they really appreciated? The doctors come in and grab all the glory. The nurses work there late, they work long, they care, they get that attachment. Amazing shout out to the nurses that I've had involvement with and that I haven't. I think you are all really special humans, and what you do is just fucking wonderful, just amazing. The experiences that you have day in, day out, the things that you witness, the lives that you impact in such a positive way because genuinely you care. Unbelievable. I can't say enough about the people that have a commitment in health services and nursing. You guys are wonderful. You always have my admiration and respect. So a little midweek shout out. Hey, so mate, in terms of that, you know, that I guess that falls back on, we were talking about the generational thing and the millennials. And it's that same thing, just being prepared to do the work. And Simon Sinek has some amazing analogies which he refers to about millennials. And he's right, we're saying millennials are the future. You are the future. And we're kind of throwing them under the bus, but it's our own behavior that is leading to millennials' behavior, right? So the generation prior is responsible. Are they giving them the tools to be successful? They're saying, you are the future, forgetting about we are the now. You know, I want something here, instant gratification. And the analogy that he used was amazing. I thought, you stand at the base of a mountain, you look up to the summit, but what they don't see is the mountain itself. Because the mindset is they're already at the top, right? So it's that mahi. So my advice, team, whether you're millennial or not, millennial is anybody born after 1984. I just missed out.
Me too, mate.
A few years too late for that one.
Mate.
But
jeez, mate.
But yeah, be mindful, because obviously, again, perception. You're led down a path. You're taught what people are taught. The generations are different. You know, are both parents at home like they used to be the generation before? No, they're not. Are we out fighting wars? No. Are we just absorbed? You know, we're in a technology revolution with the cell phones, everything. It's our lives. It's what we turn to. And here we are utilizing technology to help self-improvement, because people it's the reach, right? In reality, it is the reach. So yeah, we're saying if you are in that situation, I admire people that have that foresight to look up. There's nothing wrong with having those goals, but appreciate the mountain in between, and the steps are yours to take. I've gone through this before. Recognize the mountain, the work, and the gratification you will feel to climbing a mountain. It's like if you're sitting at the base and someone helicopters you up to the top, you stand there and take a selfie, rather than you climb and stand there to take a selfie. What will you remember? What will you remember? Man, that was a great helicopter ride. It took me 10 minutes, or shit, it took me 8 hours. That took us 8 hours. You know, we cheered each other on. There were times when we had to hold each other's hand to pull each other up that mountain. You know, we avoided rock slides. You know, I nearly died. The experience, the stuff you will learn about yourself, the physicality. I've been on, you know, some decent walks or treks or hikes with people, and the experience, the stuff you learn. And also when you get to the top of the mountain, and we've talked about that before, just looking out and admiring the view, but then realizing what's next, having the foresight to say what's next.
It's that whole mindset, bro, of appreciating the journey, the hard work and the journey, which is something I used to struggle with a lot. And it could come down to something as simple as a drive, an 8-hour drive from Christchurch to my hometown in Te Anau, for example. 8 hours. In my mind, it's like, boom, we've got the old, it's tunnel vision. It's like, let's get there as fast as possible. We're never stopping. We're not going to look at anything else. We're going to be right there. The mission is there. Just get through it. Whereas if you learn, and kids help do this, slow things down and learn to enjoy that journey. Like, look what's out there. Stop often, check things out, grab a cup of coffee from that little cafe there or that little caravan in the middle of nowhere. And when you start to appreciate that journey of it all, again, it's like that flight, right? Like a flight, up, down, you're there, versus driving and experiencing everything along the way. And that drive from from Christchurch to Te Anau, it was beautiful. Parts of that, it's all through Taupo, through this most beautiful areas. Excuse me. So learning to appreciate that process, the hard work, the journey of it all makes, when you arrive, mate, just like you said, it's a total game changer. You're in a different world. You've earned that. And we've all been in those situations, when perhaps, whether by choice or not, you were given the shortcut, or you didn't have to earn that opportunity, or whatever it was. And others around you had to earn it, or they did the work to do that. And you're kind of like, far out, man, this is not cool. Like I don't really feel like I've earned this. I don't really feel right. And it could be even in sports teams, where you're the guy on the sideline and the winning team was on the field and you weren't on the field, but it's all part of the team. But yeah, cool stuff, and definitely experience things like that along the way.
Yeah, I mean, you don't just want to be a spectator in life as it rockets past. You want to be a participant, but you can still open your eyes and be a spectator of sorts. So when you're doing, you can open your mind and your eyes and appreciate. It's that mindfulness. It's being in the moment, being present, being aware of what and who are around you, without just sitting back and getting the cushy seat, and just going, oh, cool, just watching it all go by and doing sweet FA. That's not what it is about. Life is a game. You've got to strap your boots on and just get in and play, regardless of age, regardless of gender. You've just got to get in and rip it up, man. What an opportunity. And that's what I think. Like, my mindset in terms of getting up, I'm like, let's have it. Fuck it. Let's have it. Get in. The drives now, if I have to drive, you can tune out. I'm like, okay, what have I got? I've got audiobooks to listen to. This is my chance. This is my moment, actually. Even if I'm busy, I know if I'm going to drive half an hour, why wouldn't I put a podcast on and make sure I can actually absorb the information? Now, if you're one of these people that we've talked about it before, don't just put it on and expect to become mindful, but you need the attention. It's the attention. And it's the same when you're learning. If you're talking to someone, you want to learn, the attention. You've got to pay attention if you want to learn, okay? And you've got to have attention if you want to teach. So make sure that you have the attention, that it is not just playing in the background, but utilizing that time as you move from one process to another. Some great, kicking so many goals, some great wins. Again, I've still got construction. The guys are coming. We're coming super close to getting this stuff finished down in the backyard there, and that'll lead to phase 2, but it's grown legs and it's growing way bigger than I ever thought it would be. And again, the big picture thinking of how amazing will this be, and the benefit that others will get from it, as well as myself. That's the win, That is the win. And there's been so many other things that I've been chipping away. It's been motivating me to take care of a whole lot of other things. There's nothing like home improvement to make you think, oh shit, you know what? I might as well do that. So if I've got half an hour, I'm sitting down, I'm going, okay, well, you know what? I need to lay that floor, or I need to paint that. And I'm in, bang, moments, magic, motivation, intensity. And then, do I like to rest and sit down and, tune out, watch a old school movie with the fan band? Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Mate, all that stuff, bro, is like, it's purposeful practice, and that's gratitude. That's being present. That's being, like you're saying, soaking things in and actually listening to things. You've got to practice it. It's not like you're just we're not all just have all this natural ability to do all this sort of stuff. You've got to practice every single day. And that's what I was saying in the daily D.M.C, that whole 30 minutes minimum of like development is like, make it like sit down and have intention to actually learn this new skill or listen to this podcast. And there are mornings, where I go to the gym and I want to listen to a podcast for the 10-minute drive, or I want to listen to drum and bass and ram it out. And like, so if the words are going in one ear and out the other, shut that thing down. I don't waste it. I don't want to waste it. I don't want to just listen to talking. I'll put the radio on. I want to hear it. I want to make sure I understand what's going on. So you've got to catch yourself sometimes, And I don't know about any listeners there or yourself. How many times do you push that rewind 30-second button on the audiobook, on the old, just to be like, oh no, I didn't even get that. Boom.
You know what?
I go
time travel,
back.
It's that time travel. Like you get to an intersection, you're going, hang on a second.
That's right. I didn't even hear that.
How did I get here? Like today, mate. Like I was audiobook. I'm into the, just around the block again, listening to some of that 5 grams. And I thought, you know what? My energy is way higher than this, and I'm kind of floating above it. I'm not in it. So what did I do? I put on that doof, mate. I sent you that little thing. I'm like, you love this. And I put through some beats. I said, mate, the old mate will like this. So while the vehicle was stationary, I said, yep, share, gone, done. Little bit of doof to my bro.
You've got to know. You got to flow with it. Love it.
Yeah. So there's a couple of things in you know what? I used the analogy actually last night in class in terms of a little bit of motivation about don't stand at the mountain, gaze at the summit, and forget about the mountain itself. You got to do the work, and the work and the grind is that commitment, that promise to your future self. So don't forget that. That promise that you make. The reason that you show up is that commitment to be better, to do better, to improve. So that moment is about that. You've got to be empowered, feel empowered. Because the win is actually just getting there, mate. The win is just the showing up. We talk about it. We'll go around the block. I'll say this every day of my life: the win, showing up, getting there, putting yourself in pole position, or at least giving yourself the opportunity to be there, not to witness, not just to participate, but just to be there. And seeing the impact you can have, and that the impact you can have by just being in a space, the impact you can have by showing up at someone's birthday, how someone's really grateful to see you. The impact if you show up for a cricket game and they've got 10 players and you're number 11, they're like, man, so glad to see you. The little things, the impact of being there as your kid completes their 3rd lap of their cross country, then sees you out the corner of their eye yelling their name. That's the big things, mate. Big things. The stuff I think about stuff like that in my past that I've done, and my heart swells. And also, like I used to go, oh geez, I used to beat myself up for the moments that I couldn't be there, without really appreciating the fact that there are people that don't have the opportunity to do it.
Yeah, that's right.
I really made sure I maximized the opportunity of the moments that I was there. And yeah, so those are the times, my people. Those are the times we need to immerse ourselves completely. We need to embrace the artist.
Yeah, and definitely you've got to. I like the whole. You want to show up. Obviously, having kids is a really important one, and you show up as much as you can, and you're at all these different things, and perhaps our parents weren't as present as they were, but it's a funny one because they won't necessarily sit there at the time and say, hey dad, thank you so much for coming, or thanks for being here all these years and helping me out. They don't really realize, and that's what we say, hey, back in my day, or you take this for granted, you little shit, whatever. But it's like, at some point they will remember this and they'll appreciate that, because at the time though, they just think it's normal. Oh yep, sweet, they're there again. Or even though they appreciate that, they may not say it, hey. And so from my experience, growing up with being young when my father passed away, this is why it's important as a parent for me to realize that those small things make a huge impact, because some of the only memories I have were not necessarily happy showing up memories. They were the days that he didn't show up to things. It's weird what your brain remembers. And I've only got like 3 memories. And 2 of those are ones where I remember being let down or stood up at a school event, and you know, being told that he would be there, and then he wasn't there. And I remember the entire day like it was
Amazing,
yesterday.
eh?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's kind of a shame, and it's not my decision to remember what I remember. This is what I remember as an 8-year-old, you know, maybe about about 7 or 8-year-old, and that's just what impacted my mind. So it's a real shame that one was so powerful, that memory, that trauma sort of shut out all the possibly other really cool things that happened that I don't remember. So, like we talked about, make positivity and make those good things that we can do for our kids and our friends and our family louder and more often, so they don't get overshadowed by perhaps the one thing. You know, that's just my learnings and what I've experienced.
Yeah, and kids are who they are, right? They don't have the confidence to go out and say, hey, it would mean the world to me if you could be there. But as adults, we do.
Yeah.
So if you have something now that you would love someone to attend, say, hey, I appreciate we're all busy, but I would love you to be there. It would mean a lot to me. That has more impact than saying, here's a party. Be there, we're all busy. It's all that, fuck. And Russell Brand goes on about, you know, how he deals with it. His first sort of his first answer, his first go-to when he gets invitations is like, fuck off. You know, straight away he's out. Because not all of us have the mechanism to cope with, especially if you're, and I get it. I get where he's coming from, because again, my perception of him, my assumption, what he's like, was nothing like the deep, considered, intelligent, thoughtful, present human being that I encountered when reading. You'd expect him to be, you know, people would say dance monkey, you know, that's this kind of thing. So you can see why celebrity becomes difficult to go out and step out. But yeah, bro, far deep. So if you want someone to be there, make sure you tell them. And if you have the opportunity to be there for young or old, be there 1,000%. 1,000%. Don't beat yourself up if it's impossible, or, you know, the benefit of, sorry, just let the dog out. There you go. You know, the benefit of saying, hey, you know what, I would love to be there, but I have to fly to Uruguay. I said Uruguay, but I've got other commitments that I just can't be out of it, but I will be thinking of you 100%. So have the most epic day, and we will catch up soon. You know, so try and follow up with something if it's important to someone, and it is, and that's what they will also account to, not just, oh, there's a seat where Cody or Adam used to be. It's, hey, I know they can't come, but they've reached out and told me why, and you know, I know they'll make an effort to come around and have a cup of coffee. Man, I'm having cool. I'm drinking a lot of coffee at the moment, so I'm having a lot of chats. Talking
mate,
super fast.
You know, I've been up since 4:30 this morning, mate. So there's been a lot of coffee consumed. Hence the large bottle of H2O, brother. Just H2O, straight up.
And mate, I'm still I'm still in the swimming vibe. I'm having a good time. I'm looking for improvement and catching up with my bro. On a Sunday, we've got our little squad up. We're going to invite some more people along who just want to join the revolution and come have fun swimming.
I like it.
At the local pool, he's helping me a lot, but just motivating me. You know, such a positive guy. Loves, and that's the thing, connecting with someone who loves something, you know, as much or more than you do, has an impact. It's like, yeah,
so good.
Let's go. Any ideas? Yeah, we'll do this. Oh shit, yeah, let's go. You're not going to get an objection from someone who's super passionate. Should we do this? If you're in a situation where you're in a room with people who just don't want to be there, they're like, fuck off, sit down.
No.
But if you surround yourself with somebody who's passionate, so getting in, swimming, feeling so good, learning so much again, just reconnecting with some really simple things. You know what I love about swimming and an analogy to life, you can fight the water all you want, but it won't get you any quicker. It's when you learn to relax. It's when you become part of the water. It's when you can feel the water. You know, they talk about feel. It's when you can feel the anchor, the impact you have, and that the water can feel the impact. When you can feel it flowing through you, past you, that's when you become fast. So don't fight life too much. Don't resist too much. Relax, enjoy it, feel it, and you will move, navigate smoothly. The path of least resistance sometimes is the path of best resistance.
Boom.
Boom. One great thing, a Confucius quote. Confucius.
Yeah, mate.
Now, obviously, you grab a quote and you say, it's this, and I assume it's this, but it's kind of close. This is close. This is a Confucius quote in my words. Everything has beauty, but not everyone can see it. How's that? And it's true.
Yeah, it's true. That's great. Yeah.
If we lap around and go, it's that perception of you. Is it you? We all get painted with the image of perfection. We say everything is created perfectly. Why is the sun perfect? Why is the moon perfect? Why is a tree perfect or an animal perfect? Why is it only human beings that are imperfect? It's because we've discussed that in great length and deep and meaningful chats. Why we have this real poor perception of ourselves and who we are. We're all perfect. You guys are all fucking amazing, and what a ride to be here 10 episodes later, bro, with you, Cody. I couldn't think of a better partner in crime, my bro. And again, just the ability to share time with you is a blessing, and to throw it out there to the worldwide interweb without it breaking has been an absolute joy. An absolute joy. And we hope we are certainly adding value again. Our aim is to get some pretty cool people on here to get their or to gain more from their experiences, to hear their words. It'll be a very similar theme, but the message, will always be the same. We plan to get some very different people from different walks of life who have probably made changes in their own lives, have discovered there's been game changers for them that we can talk about. And again, peeps, if you have any ideas, reach out to us. If you don't want to throw it on YouTube, just, we've got the Instagram. You can go DM us, mate. Slide into the DMs, yo.
Not afraid of the DMs, mate. Jump in there.
Mate, we love it. Remember, you're fans. Family. We're improving, we're increasing the reach. People are talking more, having confidence to have those conversations, gaining confidence in who they are, and we love that. The impact of seeing eye to eye and having those conversations. And for us, you're looking for those. I think you get good at wading through a lot of the bullshit too, and letting that shit go. Yeah. So you can have more impact, have impact with your words, be immaculate with your words.
Mate, I was teaching my daughter those words the other day. I was walking through it, teaching the family different words, and impeccable came up, and just so nice to be able to just like you said, great way to learn is by teaching. So when you soak up some form of information or something that you've heard or you enjoy or you like, share it. Hey, it's so good to be able to share that, and then just keep doing it. The more and more you do it, hey, the more it just becomes you, and it's awesome. And it's great to be able to just great to be able to share that stuff and teach others the way, or show or share.
Yeah, forget perception, forget assumption, go in and experience it for yourself. You have your own mind, your own spirit, your own soul, your own heart that drives that amazing machine, the human body. And so go out and find out for yourself, experience it, live it, learn from, the people you can talk to, both young and old, that you can learn stuff from. That's what I really, really enjoy. The stuff we can read, that we can pick up little things that help us, the little gems, those little nuggets that we talk about in life. And we know, team, you can do anything you put your mind to. You just got to want to do it, and you got to surround yourself with people, like-minded, community, humans we thrive through connection. We're social creatures. So go out and find it. We talk about it. Go back to, was it 1 or 2? We say, you find your people, you find your purpose. And that's so true. That is so true. But remember, as much as, you know, you're implementing yourself in the community and becoming part of the group, it's your responsibility too. You are the energy, you are the community, you are part of it. So play your part. It's great being there, but again, don't just sit back and spectate, participate. Be brave enough to stand up and participate. You have words to say, you have songs to sing. So just go out and be comfortable enough in an environment where you feel comfortable enough to share that shit. And if you want to share it with us, we welcome it. We'd love to hear your thoughts. We want to get better and better at this. We want to talk about more stuff. You know us. We have a little tap, 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 and then we go in super deep. And you know, man, I'll fire up something I'm passionate about. I've done it a couple of times, and Code's as stoic as he is. Here we go. But we're both equally passionate about people, and that drives us, you know. So welcome to the movement. Thank you so much for being part of the last 10 episodes, and here's to the next 10 and thereafter. Man, what a ride.
I love it, brother. I love it, bro. And a little challenge is falling off a couple of things we said earlier. Try to get out there, like to those of you out there, try to make an intention to have some DMCs. I want to use that. Like, wake up in the morning and just be like, today's the day. I'm going to spark up a deep conversation with a friend, a family member, or even a stranger. Like, how good is that? Like a stranger at the cafe or a coffee shop, or someone, you know, just someone that you can tell wants to have a bit of a chat. Dive in, ask some good questions. Have a couple of questions up your sleeve if you need to, so you have something to go back to, so you're not sort of trying to force it. What are they reading? Ask what they're reading today. What have they been reading? Or what kind of music are you listening to at the gym's always a good one, eh? I'm sure people love that. But yeah, like making it an intention to, because like we said earlier, the opportunities are all there. They're all there. But if you have the intention to actually look for them, you'll see them everywhere. If you don't, you'll have your head down in your phone or in your world, and you'll just ignore everything. So it's like opening your eyes, being present, awareness, that whole awareness thing. Are you awake or are you asleep throughout the day? Are you awake and are you aware and are you present with everything and everyone, or are you just coasting through, numb, asleep, and just chilling out? You know, like have a good think about that. Yeah, boy. You know, that's a little challenge.
And as that I'll be the person that's brave enough at the get together just to say, hey, phone's down. No, just don't put your phone on the table. Don't even get it out. You know, people putting the phone on the table and saying you're more important than the phone, but still looking at the phone if it vibrates. Don't even get the phone out. No phones on tables, phones in pockets. Do not touch. Is there a fine system in place? There bloody well should be. And that word, bro, intention is massive, because we know motivation is a small part of it, because people will go, oh, far out, that's a great idea. Yeah. And then you've got to have the intention to implement it. And a person like a buddy up. Training buddies are great. The accountability just to get there, you know, find a person who's probably more positive and more powerful than you, and together you'll be an unstoppable force, like Cody Hunter and Adam Briggs. D.M.C. podcast, even meaningful chats.
Mate, but it's awesome. Find out what you want to get better at. And for me, like if it's a training thing, it's quite a simple experience, but you're right. There's someone out there who wants the accountability and support of someone just like you. Find that person, team up. I'm just telling you a story here, bro. Team up on what it is you want to do, and just fucking go for it. This is what we're going to do. We're going to train for 12 weeks straight, 3 days a week, meet you at the gym, no cancellation policy. No matter what, we're here, unless you're very sick, of course, or something happens. But oh, mate, how cool is that? And so find all those different areas, whatever it is you want to start doing that with. I'm at the point personally where I'm starting to vibe out on wanting to put together a bit of a meathead crew, just like your swimming group. I love that. I love that. And I think to level up my own training and my own journey that I'm at right now, I want to get a small crew of people who want the similar goals and targets and ramp that shit up. You know, that's awesome. Such good way to do it, eh? Inclusion,
mate. You know, passion, you know, is not exclusive. Passion is inclusive. Share it with as much, and if you can infect as many people with your passion as possible, that's why they turn up.
Shit, yeah.
And, you know, funny, last night I'm going, you know, the great thing about Wednesday, only 5 days till Monday. I bought that one out. And I literally said, shit, is that too much? And one lady walked out and she said, never too much.
Yeah, how good. Exactly right. Like, that's awesome, bro. That's
Humbled.
awesome.
Humbled as always. Get better at living. Get into it, team. We support you 100%. In fact, if it was possible to support you more than that, we'd up that by 1,000.
Ramp it up.
You know we would. We love and appreciate you guys like you just can't even imagine. So take that with you into every opportunity to know that Cody and myself are supporting you and here for you. Reach out to us. Tell us what your big, hairy, audacious goals are, what your challenges are. Are you subscribing to the channel? Because it makes a difference for us. Are you liking? Are you commenting? Have you pushed us on Insta? We are plans, life, plans, guest, plans, improve, plans, live, love, and feast on this wonderful thing called life, and also celebrate episode number 10 with you, our fam. Our fam.
Baby. Appreciate everybody.
Say my bro.
You bet it is. Thank you all for tuning in. Love your work. Can't say that enough. And we'll see you all again very soon. Take care, everybody.
Hey.